Hello there, and welcome back to Aqua Plays Dragon Age Origins. Last we left off, we just reached the Urn of Sacred Ashes and grabbed a pinch for Arl Eamon, and now we're back here at camp before we head to give it to him. So, first thing I want to do is take care of this bloated inventory that's been driving me crazy for a little while now. We'll just see if any of our companions want any of this stuff. Let's see. 3 willpower, 3 armor. So Avernus might be better for her here. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, I'm gonna hold on to those for now, I think. Oh, we got a new collar for him, I think. Let me see. Yeah, pure bitch braid. Yeah, it's probably worthwhile, right? Because 8 armor basically is like 8 off of attacks and stuff, so it's probably more worthwhile than the Constitution, realistically. And then, let's see, Sten in particular, we might have some stuff for you. You don't even have a belt, so, but that belt's not going to do any good for you, so I guess no reason to give that to you. What do you have right now? It's pretty decent. Physical resistance, I don't know if that would be at all worthwhile. Accessories are always like so scarce in this game compared to all the other equipable stuff. What about you, Zephyrin? What are you wearing? Is anyone wearing, like, something that we could swap out? Like, what do I have on? Nope. What does Morgan have on? Oh, basically it's just exactly the same thing. Okay. And then Sten, do we have a better weapon for you at all? Not really, it looks like... Wait, I thought we picked up a bunch of... Oh, he just doesn't have the strength yet. Oh, let me... First of all, I guess we should probably check for level ups on some of the people I haven't been running with. Wait, Liliana has a level up? Oh, that must have happened like right as we left, because I didn't notice when we were there. What do I want to give to you then, Liliana? Let's see what you need for stuff that we were wanting to get to you. You need more cunning for this, which would be nice. I want dexterity for scattershot. So probably cunning and dexterity are the main things to get for you. How much dexterity did she need for scattershot? Just 27, yeah, so we could just give her that 1 point, give her a couple in cunning. And then probably go ahead and give her scattershot here, because it's usually pretty good. Yeah, it's like a nice quick, like, yeah, it doesn't last very long, but it's a pretty nice, like, stun and damage, from what I remember. Last playthrough I did, my character was an archer, and that was, like, my main go-to spell, well, not spell, but ability, I guess I would say. I didn't really care much for playing archer actively, but, well, to be honest, it's kind of nice having a companion archer. It's just a little boring playing one actively, from what I remember. Anyways, let me quickly then, while I'm thinking about it, get her tactics set up for that. Probably switch something out here. Do we really care about keeping Song of Valor on? Let's see. Yeah, bonuses to, yeah, that's pretty, mana generation, that's pretty nice. Let's see, which of these do I care about the least? So this one, open up a weak spot in their armor. Pinning. And then you got crippling. I feel like we don't really need pinning as much if we have scattershot, so maybe take this one. And probably do, like, enemy clustered with at least 2 allies. Use scattershot. Wait. Why can't I use ability scattershot? That's weird. Can't you usually use ability with that? Enemy... Because if I do, like, enemy nearest visible, can I use, like, scattershot? Yeah, why can't I use scattershot on, like, a clustered? Because usually what you do is you say an enemy is if they're clustered with at least a couple allies, then use, like, use, like, an AoE type thing on them. But it's not giving me an option to do that. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, usually, I feel like usually I would set it up like to say if they're clustered with at least 2 allies and let me use scattershot on them so they can get like good use out of it. But now it's not saying anything. Yeah, it's not letting her use that in that way for some reason. I guess maybe it doesn't recognize it as an AoE because it's something that like change up, but I feel like you can use chain lightning like that, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of weird. Don't know what's going on with that. I guess we'll just say enemy health, like if their health is 50, then we'll just use scattershot. Or, I mean scattershot. Go. I guess we'll just do that. It's kind of weird because I feel like can't you use? I mean, I don't have chain lightning right now on anyone, right? Does Morgan doesn't have chain lightning? No, she doesn't. I don't think we have chain lightning, so I can't see. But I feel like you can usually use it like that. Like usually, if they're clustered with so many of their allies, then you can use that on them. So that's kind of weird. Like, I feel like in mine, like, if I wanted to, I could do, like, enemy clustered, just, let's see, cluster with at least 2 allies, then I could use, yeah, it lets me use, like, Cone of Cold. I guess it's just, for some reason, it doesn't recognize Scatter Shot as being, like, an AoE type thing, even though technically it is, so that's kind of weird. It's kind of annoying. Be nice to set that up like that. Anyways. Moving on though, let's see. Do we have any stuff for other people here? This would possibly be better for you. Let's see, what does Zevran have? Maybe give you the mental resistance. Oh, that's right, we were doing level ups first. Hold on. Sorry, I got distracted by the whole fact I couldn't set up the tactics the way I wanted. Oh, Morgan got level up as we left there too. Okay, so she needs more magic, I believe, to unlock certain things we want to do with her, but I don't know if we need that as much right now. Getting her willpower up would be nice, so let's see. Because what were we getting with her? We were kind of going down this path. We need 34 magic for Death Cloud. It's like a big AoE one. And then we're gonna need 32 for the Waking Nightmare if we want to go for that. And then if we wanted to continue on like the lightning, we'd eventually need 33 for Chain Lightning. I probably should get her up in the basic mage stuff to get her the permanent bonus to spell power, honestly, so let me just give her like this route. So probably won't go for that right now. We will need more magic, so probably just get a little bit of magic right now. Let's just do that. And then I'm gonna give you Arcane Bolt. And then unfortunately I can't adjust your bar right now, but whenever we take you out next, we'll do that. And then we might have some more level ups here. Griffin has a level up. A couple level ups, actually. Let's see. Does Dexterity do a whole lot for him? Possibly. Let's get his strength up to 30. And then, I don't think willpower is a big thing for him because he doesn't have a lot of abilities to use, so maybe just go like that. And yeah, I don't think he has like really any other abilities for us to put on his bar at all, really. So yeah, let's see. Probably have level ups on a level 1 Sten, I'm guessing. Yeah. Couple actually. Okay, then we can get up your strength here so you can do a bit more. And what else do we need for you? Let's just see what you need for your stuff here. For two-handed, you need 34, 40 strength for that one, 36. So you need a lot of strength for your stuff, pretty much. Just like strength, not really dexterity. Sword and Shield is the one that needs dexterity and strength, so you pretty much just need to go like full strength here. And maybe a little constitution as well. Because you're mostly DPS and not as much tankiness. Let's see. Automatic critical strike would be nice. Do we have him using powerful swings? I don't know. Oh, bonus against columns and other constructs. That might be nice. Because we probably are going to be going to Orzammar soon. I don't know if we'll take Sten with us, though. I mean, we might, but I'm not 100% on that. I feel like I'd just go for critical strike probably for now. Oh, we got 2, that's right. And then probably go for this. And that, I don't think I've ever set up Sten's tactics actually, have I? No, so if whenever we take him with us, we'll set it. We'll take the time to set all those up. So when we ever do really take him with us, let me just go this way, go faster. Zevran does have a level up, okay. Level ups here, makes sense. We need to get up your strength for sure. Probably at least like 22. And then cunning and dexterity probably both need to go up. Oh, your your oh, that's right, I said I was gonna get your constitution up, right? So at least a couple points here. What does cunning do more than just the unlocks? I think it mostly just is about unlocks or cunning. It doesn't really do too much beyond that, so I think I will go with more strength for you. And then master combat training would probably be nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, you don't even have any of this stuff. I might be good to give you the ability to disarm traps in case I do want to take you with me instead of Liliana for that purpose. So I feel like we should probably go for that. Where's the one that lets you wield 2 regular? This one, yeah. You're gonna need a lot more dexterity to get to that point. Yeah, let me just give you some disarm ability, because if I take you with me, I'm wanting you to fulfill that role, because I'm probably gonna take you instead of Liliana in that case. Okay. So there's the level ups. Now let's see if we can outfit some people here maybe a little bit differently. Namely, Sten here might be able to wear some stuff now. I mean, he's got an item bonus right now with what he's got on. I don't know if it's that important to have an item bonus. Wait, can Alistair use this shield now? No, he's not at 32 strength yet, okay. Let's see then, where are you at here? I should say what the item set bonus is, so I can decide whether it's worth putting something like this on him or not. I mean, I feel like yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just leave it on him right now because he's got a set going on. But now I think he might be able to wield some better weapons here. How did these compare? So both 15. Same critical chance. Same armor penetration. So this one just gets critical damage and willpower. This one gives damage and... well, they both give like critical... that one's chance and the other one's damage. I guess Faith's Edge is probably just better for him. I think, yeah. Okay. And did we see Zevran? Ancient Elven Gloves. Yeah, that's better than what you got. That's better than what you got. That's probably about good for now. Okay, let me go see if we want to enchant anything right now.
Enchantment?
Yes, enchantment.
Enchantment!
Let's see, anything that's actually equipped. Faith's Edge, we can put a couple of on that. And then Asturian's Might and the Edge. Okay, so we got some stuff we can enchant here. Fire damage. That might be kind of nice for you. Paralyzing. Yeah, sure, why not? What do you have on yours? Just electricity. It's probably fine for now. Why don't you take the paralyzing one? Spell resistance and slowing. Yeah, sure, that'll work. Okay. Now let me sell all this junk.
Anything I can do for you, please tell me. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Let's see, let me sell all the junk I don't need anymore. So I can actually have some space. I'm gonna keep some of these for now. Let's see. Keep the heavy plate for now because we might want that later. I'm not entirely sure, but just need to get rid of a lot of this stuff because I want my inventory to actually be usable again. Perfectly. We're gonna keep that stuff for now. Probably keep these. Oh, my inventory's still so freaking full. I hate it. Let's get rid of all the novice runes. We really don't need those. Honestly, just, yeah, all the runes pretty much that we didn't use, we just can probably pretty much just sell off. Just to make space, if nothing else. Rune. Yeah, I need to go through Orzammar and get the dwarves on my side so I can give them all these gemstones and get them out of my inventory. I need to get Wynn and Ogren so I can give them their gifts and get those out of my inventory too. Let's see. Oh, I have a small sword bar I can give to Zevran at least. I would like to buy some more distillation agents here while I'm here. Anything else of interest? You don't have any expensive stuff that I can, like, work right now, right? What was that? 10. I don't really think I want to spend my money on that right now. Okay, that'll probably be good for now. Oh, my inventory's still so freaking full, though. Need it. Problem is, there's so much stuff that I just can't get rid of just quite yet. Okay, what gifts can I give people? We know we have something for Zevran.
I shall treasure it. Thank you.
And I think that might be about it. Unless I just want to... I mean, because I know we're not going to have Logan in our party, so I can just give these to whoever for the Logan gifts. Oh, Ventiva and other boots, but we haven't... I want him to talk about it first before we go for that. I'm not sure. Is this locket for... I think it's for Sten, right? I think so.
You have my thanks.
I think that was for him. And then, yeah, and like with the Liliana, I want her to talk about the flower before I give it to her, but I also want the inventory space. So hopefully, maybe she'll talk about it here in just a second with me. You know what, let's shake things up and start with Morgan first for the talks.
I await your command.
I need to ask you something?
So, full of questions, are you?
Tell me, are you really Flemeth's daughter?
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
Can an abomination even reproduce?
Who knows for certain? Flemeth is unique in her fashion, providing that the tales of her legend are as she claims. And she claims little. I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
What if you have real family out there?
I would have nothing in common with them, nor any need for what they might provide. Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser.
Suppose that's true.
You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. To indulge in love is to indulge in delusion. Surely a Grey Warden such as yourself does not believe otherwise.
No, you're quite right.
And I am glad to hear it.
Alright.
I await your command.
Any other questions I can ask?
Full of questions, are you?
Can you teach others to become shape changers? No, yes, this already. Let me see.
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
And why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
Very well. To see. Stan, how you doing?
Yes,
Still hate me? I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Never mind.
Very well.
Let's discuss something.
Speak, then.
Nope.
Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
Okay, nothing more there right now.
At your service.
How you doing, Alistair? I have some questions.
Of course.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Let's see. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
Says it's a way to deflect questions with humor, right?
I'd use my shield if I could, but I think you might actually spot me hiding behind it. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I do really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Arl Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Enjoyed hunting mages, did you?
No, I never got that far. I mostly learned about discipline. and training my mind to use the abilities that Templars have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
My home was taken over by Arl how?
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know? Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Well, what I'm supposed to be doing right now is talking with you, so it's all right, Alistair. Let's see. Hey, Zevran.
Here I am.
Did you like the silver I gave you? Care to answer any questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field.
Doesn't take any special skill?
I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer, as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler.
Sounds like it could be useful.
See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? Hmm?
Yep. No problems there. Hey, Griffin. Pet pet. Good boy. Good boy. You keep up good work guarding the camp. Let's see, Liliana, you get to be the last one to speak and welcome to this time.
Yes?
Duck.
Well, here I am.
Is it just about the tales?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
I think I've heard all the stories you have to tell for right now. But thank you anyway. Okay. Now before we move on, let's just quickly catch up on our codexes here. Let's see, Arcane Horrors, Ash Race, Brontos, Desired Demons, Dragons. Let's just see more about dragons. Might be a little interesting here. So, dragonlings, newly hatched dragons, are roughly the size of a deer and voraciously hungry. They live for a short time in their mother's lair before venturing out on their own. The slender, wingless creatures are born in vast numbers, as only a few ever make it to adulthood. Drakes. Male dragons never develop into the winged monsters of myth. At most, their forelegs grow the vestigial spurs where wingmen might have been. Once they have fully matured, males immediately seek out the lairs of adult females. When they find one, they move into her lair and spend the rest of their lives there, hunting for her and defending her young. They will aggressively defend her nest, and many would-be dragon hunters have been lost to their fiery breath and crushing blows from their tails. High Dragon. A fully matured adult female dragon is the High Dragon, the great monster of legend, the rarest of all dragon kind. These dragons hollow out massive lairs for themselves, for they need the space to house their harem of drakes as well as their eggs and their dragonlings. High dragons are seldom seen. They spend most of their time sleeping and mating, living off the prey their drakes bring back. Once every 100 years or so, the High Dragon prepares for clutching by emerging from her lair and taking wing. She will fly far and wide, eating hundreds of animals, most often livestock, over the course of a few weeks and leaving smoldering devastation in her wake. She then returns to her lair to lay her eggs and will not appear in the skies again for another century. Interesting. I actually didn't remember that from before, so the drakes are all the males, and then all the high dragons are female. Alright, skeletons. Oh yeah, what exactly are the skeletons? So the demons of the Fade are jealous of the living beings they sense from across the veil. They constantly push against the boundaries of the Fade, and when they finally cross over, they attempt to possess the first living creature they see. They are unable, however, to distinguish that which was once living from that which still is. In fact, a corpse provides an even more tempting target to a weaker demon, as it has no will with which to resist the possession. The demon cannot rationalize why this is so, it only sees a target and grasps at the opportunity. A skeleton is exactly that, a corpse animated by a possessing demon. Upon finding itself trapped within a body that cannot sustain it, the demon is driven insane. It seeks to destroy any life that it encounters, attacking without thought to its own welfare. The exact names given to the skeletons of this type vary according to the nature of the demon that possesses it. A fang skeleton is a skeleton possessed by a hunger demon. These skeletons devour whatever life they encounter and often possess the ability to drain life energy and mana from their victims. A shambling skeleton is a slower moving skeleton possessed by a sloth demon, able to bring entropic powers against his opponents, slowing them and even putting them to sleep. More powerful demons have been known to command skeletons, but at that level they are known by other names, revenants and arcane horrors, to name two. Alright, gotcha. So the skeletons are under the command of, like, the horrors and whatnot. And then the Life Drinker. So that's the amulet I got, so no one knows for certain where this amulet came from. All we have is legend. Long before the Golden City turned black, there lived in the Tevinter Imperium a frail old magician in the court of the Archon. He was the least among the mages of the court, the lamplighter, whose task it was to set all the thousands of candles alight and snuff them again when the Archon retired for the evening. He was counted as useless by all the most influential magisters, but he was only biding his time. One day, when all the masters of the Imperium were assembled in the great hall of the Archon, the lamplighter struck. He conjured a massive firestorm in the hall, trying to assassinate all who were assembled and seize power himself. The court was made up of the most powerful mages of the Imperium, and they worked quickly to destroy the would-be usurper, but found, to their astonishment, their magic was no match for the old mage. Every spell they cast was countered, and the masters began to fall, one by one, until only the Archon himself and the lamplighter were left, locked in a battle of magic and will. The Archon saw that with each spell he cast, the lamplighter himself seemed to wither and fade a little more. So he bombarded the mage with spell after spell, until at last nothing was left to the palace but rubble, nothing left to the court but corpses, and nothing left to the lamplighter but a golden pendant. This, the Archon kept to remind himself that treachery could come from even the most innocuous sources. Interesting story. Let's see, magic and religion, Andraste, bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Menrathis, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true god did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Matharath, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together, they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide washing over the Imperium. And when Matharath saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing upon it. At last the armies of Andraste and Matharath stood before the very gates of Menrathis, but Andraste was not with them. For Matharath had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to Tevinter. For this, the Archon would give Matharath all the lands to the south of the Waking Sea. And so, before all the armies of the Alamari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the power of the Archon soften, he took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Matharath, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him. And Our Lady sits still at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. Alrighty then. Let's see, so we've got History of Soldier's Peak Chapter 1 here. So the Grey Warden base at Soldier's Peak was built in the middle of the Glory Age, several decades after the Second Blight was ended. Before then, Grey Wardens in Ferelden would take up residence in castles and forts that belonged to generous nobles. Warden Commander Gaspar Asturian desired a fortified headquarters where his forces could train and live. He planned that Soldier's Peak would be a city unto itself. The defeat of the darkspawn and the Archdemon Zazzikul was fresh in the minds of the Ferelden people, and many were willing to donate gold to build a Commander Asturian's fortress. Soldier's Peak was fully completed within 10 years and dedicated to the Maker in 934 glory. And now chapter 2. As he approached his 60th year, rumors swirled that the corruption in Warden Commander Asturian's blood was beginning to take its toll. According to reports from that time, the commander experienced terrifying waking dreams and heard his name whispered from the dark corners of Soldier's Peak. It is said that Asturian would spend hours locked up alone in the great hall of the base, muttering to himself, though no one was ever able to make out what he was saying. Many also believe that Asturian began, in secret, to draw up plans to expand his fortress, adding to it hidden passages and alcoves, all to protect himself from the shadows that pursued him. No one knows whether Asturian was able to complete his project, for his deterioration had become obvious to anyone who spent any amount of time with him. He was quickly replaced by Warden Commander Frida Hallwick. Asturian was taken to Orzammar, where he submitted to the calling, the last right of the Grey Wardens, and went to his death with honor. Then, chapter 3. After Asturian's death, the rumors and theories became increasingly outlandish. One of the more ridiculous rumors told of Asturian's infatuation with an elven princess of lore, whom he was trying to resurrect in a secret ritual chamber through the use of blood magic and the princess's favorite food, raspberry jam. Okay, so that's why there was the raspberry jam in there, I guess. Apparently. So then, Warden Commander Frida Hallwick launched a thorough investigation into Asturian's secret plans, but was unable to recover any evidence that anything in the Soldier's Peak had been changed. Commander Hallwick declared that the rumors about Asturian were a slight on his memory, and that anyone found repeating them would be harshly punished. The stories were thus silenced. And then, chapter 4. There was one mystery, however, that persisted, and this mystery perplexed even Commander Hallwick herself. When Commander Asturian went to his calling in the deep roads, he did not have in his hand his sword, Asturian's might, forged for him by dwarven smiths and presented to him upon the completion of Soldier's Peak. Nor did he pass the sword on to a successor or to any other Grey Warden. While some maintained that Asturian had simply destroyed the sword in his dotage, others believed he had stashed it away somewhere in Soldier's Peak. One young warden claimed that Asturian had once grabbed him by the shoulders, fixed him with an unnerving gaze, and said, "The sword will remind you what it is to be a warden. Speak your oath to me when the shadows come. You must speak the words." What this was supposed to mean was never made clear. Okay, so that's why we speak the oath to that painting in Soldier's Peak, and it gives us the sword. Okay. And now the Avars. Driven across the Frostbacks in ancient times, the Alamari tribesmen split into 3 groups. One settled the Ferelden Valley, one was pushed into the Korkar Wilds, and the last returned to the mountains. Modern Fereldans bear little resemblance to their Alamari ancestors, and the Chased remember a few of their traditions, but the Avars have changed little throughout the ages. Like the Chased, the Avars are not a united people. Each tribe fends for itself and is beholden only to its Thane. They still follow their own gods, Korth the Mountain Father, Hakon Winter's Breath, the Lady of the Skies, as well as dozens of animal gods never named to outsiders. Nothing lasts in the mountains. Wind and rain eventually eat away the strongest holds. Valleys that were arable one generation are locked in year-round ice the next. Game is constantly on the move. Even among themselves, the Avar make no absolute promises. They would by a tradition in which the groom struggles to untie a tightly knotted rope while the bride sings a hymn to one of the gods. However, many knots he has undone by the time her song ends is the number of years she will spend with him. Well, that's interesting. Lowlanders often forget that there is no such thing as a permanent alliance in the Frostbacks. And then the Frostback Mountains. Even mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of Belinus, the mountain that lies at the center of the world, from which he could see all the corners of earth and sky. And he saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it. He sealed it inside a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around it the fiercest mountains the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the Mountain Father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavor, music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valor. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant, but with no heart, Korth could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Korth. The Lady of the Sky sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and strongest flyers, to scour the mountains with a missing heart, and for a year and a day they searched. Sparrow and raven, vulture and eagle, swift and albatross returned to her with nothing. Then the ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find the glad chief's heart. The other birds laughed, for the ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping on the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird traveled deep into the Frostbacks. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and weathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff, and when the golden cast struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come see what had happened. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so it could never again escape, and all the remaining gods named the ptarmigan honored above even the loftiest eagles. So that's one of the tales from the Avars, and then the old gods. So Dumont, the Dragon of Silence, Zazkel, the Dragon of Chaos, Toth, the Dragon of Fire, Andoril, the Dragon of Slaves, Earthmethiel, or Earthemiel, the Dragon of Beauty, Razikil, the Dragon of Mystery, and Lucican, the Dragon of Night. There were 7 old gods, great winged dragons that were said to rule over the ancient world. The Chantry maintains that they are responsible for the original sin, that they turned humanity away from its true creator through deceit. Humanity's faith faltered, and thus the Maker turned away from the world, but not for trapping the old gods in eternal prisons beneath the earth as punishment. Scholars assume that the old gods must indeed have been real at one point, but most agree that they were likely actual dragons, ancient high dragons of a magnitude not known today, and impressive enough to frighten ancient peoples into worshipping them. Some even claim that these dragons slumber as a form of hibernation, not as a result of the Maker's wrath. Regardless of the truth, legend maintains that even from their underground prisons, the old gods were able to whisper into the minds of men. The Archon Thalcian, first of the Magisters, who claimed to have contacted the old god Dumont, used the blood magic Dumont taught to him to attain incredible power and to enter and declare himself the ruler of an empire. In return, he established the first temples worshipping the old gods, and the dragons became equated everywhere with imperial power. To date, 4 of the old gods are said to have risen as corrupted archdemons. Dumont, the first and most powerful, was slain at the Battle of Silent Fields, Zazikel fell at the Battle of Starkhaven, Toth died at the Battle of Hunterfell, and Andoril was felled by Garahel, the legendary Grey Warden, at the Battle of Islay. The archdemons have been identified only after years of argument among scholars, and to this day it is unclear whether the archdemons were truly old gods and not simply dragons. All that is known is that the darkspawn hunt for them deep underground. If they are truly old gods, as many scholars believe, then we have only 3 blots remaining. When all the old gods have risen and been slain, however, what will happen? Will the lights end forever, and humanity earn forgiveness from the Maker at last? We shall see. Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever get to the point of addressing that in the games at all. And then characters, just Jenner TV. Yeah, he just traveled everywhere and whatnot. And then, oh, who else here? Sophia Dryden. Okay, didn't we already? I think we already looked at her before, didn't we? Oh, I think this is addendum. King Arlen had driven the Grey Wardens with Reldon, and after the siege of Soldier's Peak, the base was abandoned. When Soldier's Peak was finally entered again for the first time in centuries, it was discovered that Sophia Dryden had been visited by a demon. Okay, that's just a little add-on there. And then the Holy Brazier. Let me see. So the brazier that stands atop the stairs in the Great Hall of our temple has always been something of a mystery to us. This is the brazier that created the beings we call the Ash Race. This is where Andraste's followers immolated themselves and became the eternal guardians of her temple. I've painstakingly pieced together information from old books and from the tales and half-truths passed down to us by our forefathers. I believe I now understand the ritual used to create the race. The brazier was lit with a consecrated taper, its flame taken from the everlasting fire that long ago consumed Andraste herself. The chosen disciple would fast and pray for weeks, taking into his body nothing but a sip of water a day. When the disciple was finally ready, he would place in his mouth a flawless black pearl and step into the flames. In ancient Deventer, black pearls were thought to be magical, able to stop the soul from passing through the veil when held in the mouth at the moment of death. Thus, Andraste's disciples consigned themselves to the eternal flame, they became dust and ashes, and rose again and again to protect the most beloved of the Maker. That's from Colgrim's journal, interesting. Yeah, so we still don't have Legend of Con Chapter 2. I don't know if I want to find it, since we already tried Chapter 3, but I'll just leave that for now. Death of a Templar. Not really sure what this is about. Looks like just kind of like a story here. And then the First Light Chapter 3. The world during the First Light was different from the world we know today. Aside from the civilized rule of the Imperium, humans as a race were largely barbarous and splintered, divided into clans and tribes and squabbling amongst themselves for resources. At the same time, deep beneath Theus' great mountain ranges spanned a dwarven culture as organized and advanced as ours was primitive. As the Darkspawn bubbled up to the surface from their underground layers, mankind first buckled and then fought back. The armies of Deventer attempted to face down the multitudes of twisted creatures and the hard rotting of the land around them, but they could not be everywhere at once. Human history remembers the First Blight as a time of terrible devastation, and those stories are accurate, but in our arrogance we often forget the price paid by the dwarves in their isolated mountain kingdoms. The dwarves faced far greater hordes than humanity as the Darkspawn challenged them for control of the underground. Despite the might and technology the dwarves brought to bear, the savage Darkspawn tore through them, first destroying the more remote tides that were swallowing up entire kingdoms. Think of it, an entire civilization lost in the space of decades. Compared to the near genocide that the dwarves faced, what we humans call the First Blight must have seemed a mere skirmish. Against the Darkspawn, the Dwarven lands have always borne the brunt of the fighting and the majority of the sacrifices. 4 Dwarven kingdoms finally managed to combine their might and fight back, and that cooperation saved them. For the rest of their lands, it was too late. The darkspawn had taken the deep roads, the majestic underground passages that linked dwarven lands throughout Thedas. The darkspawn could now attack anywhere on the surface through these tunnels. Humanity simply was not prepared for such an onslaught. It was clear that the warfare we knew would not avail us. We had to find a new way to fight. Thus came our salvation. The Grey Wardens were born. And then the Maker's first children. The Maker's first creations were the spirits, glorious beings that populated the many spires of the Golden City, and the Chant of Light says they revered the Maker with unquestioning devotion. The Maker, however, was dissatisfied. Although the spirits were like him in that they could manipulate the ether and create from it, they did not do so. They had no urge to create, and even when instructed to do so, possessed no imagination to give their creations ingenuity or life. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him in all but the one and most important way. They did not have a spark of the divine within them. He expelled all the spirits out of the Golden City and into the Fade, and proceeded to his next creation, life. The Maker created the world and the living beings upon it, separated from the Fade by the veil. His new children would be unable to shape the world around them, and thus would need to struggle to survive. Already we know this isn't fully truth, considering Solus is the one who created the veil, but anyways. Separate from the Fade of the Veil, his new children would be unable to shape the world around them, and thus would need to struggle to survive. In return for their struggle, the Maker gave them the spark of the divine, a soul, and he watched with pleasure as his creations flourished and showed all the ingenuity that he had hoped for. The spirits grew jealous of the living and coaxed them into the Fade when they slept. The spirits wished to know more of life, hoping to find a way to regain the Maker's favor. Through the eyes of the living, they experienced new concepts: love, fear, pain, and hope. The spirits reshaped the Fade to resemble their lives and concepts that they saw, each spirit desperately trying to bring the most dreamers to their own realm so they could vicariously possess the spark of the divine through them. As the spirits grew in power, however, some of them became contemptuous of the living. These were the spirits that saw the darkest parts of the dreamers. Their lands were places of torment and horror, and they knew that the living were strongly drawn to places that mirrored those dark parts of themselves. These spirits questioned the Maker's wisdom and proclaimed the living inferior. They learned from the darkness they saw and became the first demons. Rage, hunger, sloth, desire, pride. These are the dark parts of the soul that give demons their power, the hooks they use to claw their way into the world of the living. It was demons that whispered into the minds of men, convincing them to turn from the Maker and worship false gods. They seek to possess all life as their due, forging kingdoms of nightmare in the Fade in the hopes of one day storming the walls of heaven itself. And the Maker despaired once again, for he had given the power of creation to his new children, and in return they had created sin. Alright, and then the Sermons of Divine were not over first. Yeah, just kind of ritual sermon stuff, and then notes. Just more of the love notes. What else? Return to Ostgar credits, okay. And then quests related, we have the Scrolls of Banastor. This is to align with the power of the Fade is but the first of many steps. Further is to align the mind to the Fade's rules and find the ties between the realm of dream and the realm of flesh. This is the true power of blood magic. The flesh and the mind are inseparable, and therein lies the power to influence and control minds. And then others may speak of the sanctity of the mind. To those who know the true power of the blood, this is foolishness. The mind is no more sacred than the knee, the small toe, or the ear. It is man's organ of reasoning, nothing more. And true reasoning requires connection to the rhythm of the blood, the tireless pounding of life. Interrupt this, and even the mind is yours to control. Interesting. Right, so that's all of those for now. So now we're gonna be heading back to Redcliffe. So let's see, who are we taking with us for now? Obviously Alistair.
Yes.
I mean, Liliana probably would like to see the sacred ashes used here, so we'll bring her along. And then I guess we'll bring Griffin, because I don't think she'd really want to bring Zeverinston or Morgan here to Arl Eamon. You know, none of those really give the greatest impression here necessarily, so yeah, we'll do that. And we will go back to Redcliffe. Just go directly to the castle for now. We will want to pop by the village to finish some side quests then. We got a fight here. Oh, actually a cutscene, never mind.
Sire, I have more news.
Yes. Well, it seems that the fighting has gone exactly as you...
I would like to know what you intend to accomplish, Father. Should we not be fighting the Darkspawn instead of each other?
The nobility should be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. This is no true blight, Anora. Only Kaelin's vanity demanded it be so.
Beg pardon, sire. But blight or no, we may not have the manpower to face the darkspawn soon.
Kalen approached your legions for support, did he not?
Never! Marek and I drove those bastards out! We'll not roll out the welcome for them now!
We need help, Father. We cannot deal with this crisis alone.
Ferelden will stand on its own! I will lead it through this, Anora. You must have faith in me.
Did you kill Kalen?
Kalen's death was his own doing.
Yes, Sonora, question it. Question it all. Alrighty then. Oh, you got this traitor dude. Hey, dude.
You have coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegrin can give you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
What's going on in Orzammar?
There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
Understood. Let's see what you got. What does Alistair have going on? That would be nice, but he can't even get them right now anyway. Sten doesn't have a belt, so I might just grab this, just in case. Oh, a painting for Sten as well. And an amulet for... I think this is for Liliana. And shoes for Liliana. This point of skill is gonna read, but I'm not gonna get that right now. Okay. Thanks, dude. And while I'm thinking about it, let me take those arrows off of Liliana so we can save them for later. So those are usually pretty good when we might use them in like the mage circle or something. Anyways, let's continue on to Redcliffe Castle. Alright, Arl Eamon, I'm finally back with the ashes. Let's get you up on your feet so Visella can feel confident in having some noble allies here again. Let's see, where's... oh, Antigan here.
You return. Might you have news?
I found the urn.
You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
Where am I?
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it. This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, I know you did what you had to. I grieve for Isolde, but I believe that had you not acted as you did, it might have been far worse. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service?
If you'd like, I won't object.
Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, the staff that belonged to Isolde's grandfather, himself a mage, I understand. It will serve far better in your hands.
Sweet. Thank you, Your Grace.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man, one who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Kaelin, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end.
But you can unite the ability against Loghain, can't you?
I could unite those opposing Loghain, yes. But not all oppose him. He has some very powerful allies. We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn.
Logan must capitulate then.
I agree. Loghain will pay for his heinous crimes, but our armies must be reserved for the Darkspawn, not for each other. I will spread word of Loghain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Loghain's allies pause, but we must combine it with a challenge Loghain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Loghain's daughter, the Queen.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred.
You intend to put Alistair forward as king?
Tegan and I have a claim through marriage, but we would seem opportunists no better than Loghain. Alistair's claim is by blood.
And what about me? Does anyone care what I want?
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Loghain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
But I... No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing.
What's stopping Loghain from just attacking Redcliffe?
Why do you think he had me poisoned? He wanted me gone without having to confront me directly. If I call for a landsmeet, refusing the compromise and attacking Redcliffe will only support our accusations. I'm sure he'd rather I died from the poison. Had the demon not interfered, that's exactly what would have happened.
Wouldn't it be easier simply to kill Loghain?
I'm not sure that would help our cause. We would become the criminals, and our accusations would become excuses. Furthermore, I'm not even certain where Loghain might be.
Seems to be a little choice.
Very well. I will send out the word. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
Alrighty then. Oh, I got a level up. Sweet. Oh, this is just... Oh, it's just like an ability I get? Okay. It's not like a full level up. It's kind of weird. What do I want, though? Oh, I can get Crushing Prison. It's probably worth grabbing. Yeah, I'll get Crushing Prison, I guess. Okay. And then I need to extend my bar again. Okay, and then these two probably work pretty well there. Yeah, Swap that back up. Alrighty then. So that's done. Let's head back to the village. See what side quests we have to wrap up there. I know we at least have to talk to the blacksmith about Velena. Because I forgot to do that last time. Where's the way to the village? This way. Okay, right here. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I did it right over here.
Yes, that's the way. Now guard yourself.
I shall do it.
Okay, to the village. Oh, but we're gonna give us an encounter, right? Okay. For a second there, I thought I was gonna give us an encounter in between these two, which would be crazy. Because they're so close together. Okay, let's go see what we have to wrap up real fast. Oh yeah, you're the one I need to give like lyrium potions to, don't I? But I don't have enough. There's that one. Where's the one Oh yeah, 10 lyrium potions, but I don't have enough because I use it a lot, especially because I use it a lot against that dragon fight. So we probably won't be able to do that one until a while later when lyrium potions become more abundant here. Wait. There's a chest up there? I don't remember there being a chest up here. How do you get up there? Well, there's a chest and a crate. How long have those been up there? Is there supposed to be a way to get to them? Can you go down here? Have these been here the whole time and I just never noticed it, even though I'm like pressing V constantly?
I could do that for you.
You know, I think in all my 4 previous playthroughs, I do not think I've ever realized that you could go back here. Like, somehow I just never realized that you could go back there, at least from what I recall. That's crazy. I guess I just never really paid much attention to this area. Huh. Anyways, side quest turn-in time.
And after much sweat, blood and toil, her labors ended, and the world marveled at what she wrought.
Okay, thanks for the money muns. Now, let's get some more money muns from you.
The captain sends his regards.
Excellent. Let's go talk to the Owen here.
My Velena returned. She told me of your daring rescue. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Take this. A reward for your deed. It's dwarven made and should serve you well.
Thank you. I was glad to help.
Thank you again. I'm forever in your debt.
What did you give me? Shielded dwarven armor. Anyone want that? Be better than what you've got on, but you... well, I wish I knew what the set bonus was. Does it say anywhere? Does it say, like, if I go in here? No? Is that +1 from... Wish I knew what the sit bonus was. Oh, it actually says something more in here too. Oh, here we go. Increases spell power by 1 for each point purchased. Okay. Oh, this gives you defense and the dexterity. Okay. So basically, one magic is like equivalent to one spell power, except the spell power is more limited in what it does, I presume. And so one magic is technically like better, but they're kind of almost equal. Okay. Gotcha. Anyways, anything else I need to do here? It's Denerim stuff. Can't deliver that stuff yet. Oh, yeah, I can go to the collective and turn that one in at least, but... Okay, yeah, I think that's all that we've got to turn in here, except, like I said, we can go to the Mage's Collective and turn in that one. So we might as well. Oh, is it this way?
The client is very pleased. Come back soon.
Nice, more money. Alright. Can we just go straight to the map, or do we have to go over to the area? Okay, we can just go straight to the map, it looks like. So next thing over here, let's go over to Honleith. Getting shale. It looks like we're gonna get, yeah, an encounter here first. Oh, it's the Superman reference one.
How did a child survive that? The crater is still smoking. It's a boy. 5 fingers, 5 toes. That's all that matters to me. The Maker has answered our prayers. Let's go home, Marta, and raise the tyke as our own.
Superman reference. We get the meteorite that we can give to the dude in Slider's Peak to make sword. I'm pretty sure that's like basically all that this is for. What fun. Alright, so we're gonna be heading forth to get the stuff we need to activate Shale and bring her along with us. But I'm actually gonna stop for right now because I'm feeling kind of tired from this sicky nickiness, I think. I know, kind of that sicky tired feeling, you know, so unfortunately I will go ahead and have to end this part earlier than I normally would, but I will be back soon to go forth and get Shale and everything. But regardless, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.